In today's video, I'm going to add some flowers to this gorgeous, very simple design to create something a little wider and a bit larger. If this is a technique that you would like to learn, keep watching today's video. So welcome back. This is video number 3. You should already have seen 2 previous videos where I created this gorgeous arum lily and orchid design. If you haven't already seen them, look in the description box below because you'll find a link to the 2 previous videos. And if you didn't already know, in the description box below is a list of all the flowers that I use in each design. And there's links to some discount codes that you can use for the online courses, or you can use to buy some of the care and conditioning guides that I offer on the web shop. Now, previously I've made 2 designs. I started with just the arum lilies, then in the second video I added the orchids, and in today's video I'm going to add some extra flowers to make it a bit larger. I've also already added about 1 inch of foam to the bottom of the container, so the height of the floral foam has been slightly risen up, and that's going to give me the ability to add some flowers in at the side. Now I'm going to remove the bare grass just to start with because I want to extend out at the side, but I'm still using that colour inspiration from the very beginning of the arrangement. So I've looked at the arum lily, and within the arum lily is some beautiful shades of green. There's a lovely flashing lines of green on the back of the arum lily. So I've linked those up really nicely with the large, I think this one was Anastasia. This is the lovely lime green chrysanthemum bloom. And to link with the really dark brownish red that's in the middle of the orchid, I'm going to use a Cordyline. This is Cordyline black tie, often mistaken for an aspidistra, but that's going to add some height, open up some space in the arrangement, and create a lovely colour link with the brownish reds that I've got in the design. And I'm going to start by using them on their side rather than flat facing you. So if we look at it in that position there, it's really quite dominant. It's wide, it's very eye-catching. By just moving it to the side, it gives a little bit of curved movement, and it doesn't look quite so eye-catching and dominant in the arrangement. And I'm going to use them, because it curves really nicely in that direction, I'm going to use them on this side of the arrangement because it's really going to help create a bit of height and a bit of movement on the left-hand side. So nice clean cut on the bottom. I think I'm going to remove these 3 the magnolia leaves from the side, because now I've got some floral foam here that I can place my leaf into, and you can now more clearly see the vial that holds the orchid into place. So I need to remember later to make sure that's completely covered. And I'm going to extend the width of the arrangement, not so much the height, but the width of the arrangement, by adding in that really beautiful curved Cordyline leaf there on the side. And it's now made the arrangement almost look out of proportion. The bottom part is disproportionate with the width at the top, so I'm going to need to extend the width out on the bottom. Before I do that, I'm going to add another Cordyline, and I'm going to use the heat of my hand just to try to get that leaf to curve slightly and not to be quite so aggressively straight. We don't want it to be almost too harsh on the side of the arrangement. And what I'm going to do with this one is just trim off a little bit here on the bottom so that I'm making the stem a bit shorter. Otherwise I'm going to have 2 leaves at the same height, and that's not going to work in the arrangement. I need 2 different heights so that our eye is being drawn really nicely down towards the focal point. And again, by just placing it on its side, I think we need to come out a bit more. We've got some space really opened up there in the arrangement. That almost gives the impression of an asymmetric design because there's more visual weight now on this side of the arrangement. So to really open up the space on the opposite side, I'm now going to use that big piece of the lime green conifer that we looked at right at the very beginning, but rather than use it at the back of the arrangement, which is going to give that quite heavy look to the design, I'm going to use it in the same manner so that I'm really accentuating that curve, and it's going to come on the opposite side to my big cordyline leaves. But what I need to be careful of is they're not really matching the shape and the style, because then the arrangement is going to become quite symmetrical, and I don't want that to happen. At the same time, I'm going to remove the Fatsia leaf there because it's been pushed up alongside the conifer. So that one's going to come out and it's going to slip back in underneath, right down into the foam there. And now it's supporting the underneath of that conifer rather than it being squashed up in the middle. Now, I'm not planning on moving the center placement of those flowers because I want you to see how step by step each design progresses and how you can learn to make one design and then extend it to make something different. So to create some extra weight, some visual weight at the bottom, that more heavier look at the base, I'm going to introduce those lovely chrysanthemum blooms. Now, one of them is cut a bit shorter because it was used in a previous arrangement. So that one is going to be popped in first because it's the shorter stem, and I obviously can't make that any longer. But because I've raised the foam up slightly on the side, it now gives me the ability to add some flowers in widthways to create that horizontal placement rather than everything coming in from the top in that really vertical, sort of regimented parallel style. And although we're used to arranging in odd numbers, and we quite often use threes, I'm just going to place in a group of 2 because I think that's enough visual weight for the bottom of the arrangement. The lime green links beautifully with all the different types of greenery. And then over on this side here, I'm going to put a much bigger display of the bear grass. We've already used this on the other side. Because this area here with the dark colours at the back is quite dominant, I need something to continue that line over onto the opposite side. And I think the addition of all this fantastic bear grass is going to work really well. So the difficulty I have now with adding the bear grass in is that I've got to almost squeeze it in amongst all the different types of greeneries that I've got in the centre. So I need to take my time for this one. And I'm going to use two big clusters. Hopefully we can find a clean piece of unused foam there in the middle. And what that now does is it creates that visual movement down where the cordyline leaves are, and then through the middle of the arrangement, and then you shoot out the other end almost like a fountain. So if you can imagine sliding a ball down here, almost like it's a slide, and then through and out over the other side, creates that really rhythmic look that we're trying to achieve in floral design. Now, you'll hear me talk a lot in the videos about the elements and principles of design, and if you're not sure about them and you don't know how to apply them into floral design, then you'll find a link in the description box to a workbook that I sell over on the website that really helps you understand all the elements and principles of design. And what I'm talking about at the moment is rhythm. So we create eye movement from one side of the arrangement to the other, and by grouping items together, we create focal points within the arrangement rather than one focal point, which is seen more often in traditional floral design. So while I was talking, I added in 2 of the leucadendron to one side. I don't want to over clutter up the area. I really want to be able to see the personalities within the flowers. So we're going to leave these clear with plenty of negative space in between. If you don't like the gaps in amongst the flowers, you could add an extra leaf in there, but all that does is hides the personality of those lovely flowers. It really just creates a design that has an overall shape rather than the individual stars of the arrangement itself. The magnolia leaves that were in this position in the beginning can now come more towards the back. They're not going to be as clearly seen as in the first 2 arrangements, but they're going to work really well to cover the foam at the back and make sure that that little plastic vial that the orchid is sitting in is completely covered. And I'm quite happy with how the design has come together. I'm just going to push down the shamrock chrysanthemum at the back just to give them a bit more space in between so that you can really see the depth and the variation in the heights of the flowers. And I don't think I need to add anything else in. So hopefully that's been a really clear lesson on how to create a simple design with just 5 flowers, and then how to elevate it by slightly changing the position of your floral foam to be able to add flowers in at the side. And don't forget, if you want a list of the flowers that I've used in the floral design, then they are linked in the description box just below the video, and you'll also find some discount codes there for the online courses. Please subscribe, because that does help other people find us, and hit that notification bell if you want to come back and see another video when I release it on Sunday afternoon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.